And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interlude Media. Spell that right, NTRLD underscore media. I'm your host, Nick DeSantis. You might know me as Nicky Nicknames, and I'm joined today by my co-host, the man holding it down on the ones and twos. Please welcome Todd Roshong. But you might know him as T. Rowe Price because that man understands the return on investment. And folks, this is the Interlude Pod, an idea to an idea. A podcast where two friends are chopping it up regarding the latest news you didn't know you needed to know, with the goal of teaching you something new and us how to run a podcast. And I would be remiss, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't mention that each one of these episodes is mixed, mastered, edited, and produced by none other than One Time Productions. So welcome in. Thank you for tuning in to Interlude Media. Todd, take it away with the agenda today.
Good to be back, Nick. Back here for episode 11. My favorite number, might I add.
Mm,
Good number. Um,
okay,
so we are, as always, going to
big
kick
time.
things off with a little bit of this just interlude, as we like to do. A little bit of news going
Yes,
on in
sir.
the world. Something that we teased last week that we wanted to talk about. We're going to get back to that after we got a little carried away with our Thanksgiving episode last week. Then we're going to jump over
Yes,
to the
yes.
Navidius Wilburn section, talk about the future, something that we're looking
Future.
forward to. So I hear there's a little bit of fan mail that you received over
Mm.
on your side of things.
Oh,
I
yes,
haven't
sir.
seen this. I haven't seen this
Yes,
one
sir.
yet, so I'm a little excited to hear. And then we're
Always
gonna jump
appreciate it.
over to the spins and flips section again, something that we teased last week. We're finally gonna get
Yep.
back to that. Before, of course,
Good.
folks, Nicky Nicknames gonna take us away with his parting inspiration.
I guess I have to, Todd.
You know, it's your duty. It's your duty every episode. But with
Yes, sir.
that, kicking things off with a little bit of this just in. Today, the day that we are recording, Wednesday, December 3rd, the lighting of the tree at Rockefeller Center there in New York City.
Mm.
You being a New York City resident yourself, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, yeah. This is big news this year. This really hasn't been big news for me in the past. I think I've been here for four, could be five now. Winters. I've seen the tree before. You know, the tree's a big deal. It's a big tree if no one's ever seen it. But I just don't really get why. You know what the hype is. Apparently, they do like a whole show around it, but
Oh yeah,
today, I think I showed my naiveness of not being a native New Yorker. I had a lunch with our reps from NBC Universal today.
okay,
For folks who
yeah,
don't know,
big
Rockefeller
dogs.
Center, that's an NBC building, right? Yep, yep. So I asked them, I said, look, I know tonight's a big night. We light in the tree, but don't you light the tree every night? So it didn't age well. Yeah, no, it didn't age well. Here's the deal, folks. Apparently tonight's the first night that they light it. That's cool, but I
That's right.
assume that during the day you turn the lights off. Apparently, once it's lit, it's like the Olympic flame. That thing stays rolling until it's
Does
over.
not does
So
not turn off.
yeah, but it's kind of wasteful, man. You know, like if
Sure.
my Con Edison bill goes up because of the Rockefeller tree, I'm gonna be a little upset. I
Yeah,
would be the
well,
first to admit.
I mean, I think I would certainly imagine that NBC Universal, that all the folks over there at 30 Rock, that their Con Ed bill does go up during the month of December, but I guess they're comfortable with that, you know? They're
No, but I'm
willing.
cool with lighting a tree. But why was it lit during the day? I don't. It doesn't really do anything.
No, it doesn't, but there also are, as you know, because you have spent, I think, 4 winters now in New York City. There are some pretty sad and gloomy days out there. So maybe you walk past the tree, you still can tell that it's lit. Yeah, you got daylight coming through, but you can see
It's
the
lit.
lights popping through a little bit. It's lit, exactly, and
Yo,
it
remember
lifts
Travis
it
Scott doing
lifts
that?
your spirits.
Okay, I mean maybe. I don't know. There's the one thing about New York City. There's a lot of Christmas trees out there. This is another thing that I has been on my mind is I don't love the fact of cutting down a tree and ending a tree's life. But at the
No,
same
no,
time,
you're all
like
wrong here, dude.
real trees are better than fake trees.
So
They
much
just
better,
are. They're so much better. I'm not
objectively.
denying that. It's just that, I guess this is the Lorax in me. I hate to see a tree go down.
I don't. So here's the thing. Are you going to make that same argument about you know a corn stalk out in a farm? Are you going to make that same argument about wheat or pumpkins or apples at an orchard? all of
Yeah, but
those
there's a use.
plants. So that's the thing. These trees are grown on farms, not the Rockefeller Center tree, but there are tree farms where their whole goal is to grow Christmas trees. It takes them whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 years to grow to be about 8 to 10 feet tall, whatever, depending on the house that you live in, what kind of tree you're trying to cut down. But that is the intent of the farmer is I'm going to grow this tree for it to get cut down. Like it's part of an economic cycle. It's not like you're just ending random trees out in the
No, no.
forest.
So, well, yeah, but some of them are. So I like the farm cycle. The other thing too is, if the end of your life you were just being pampered and loved, which a Christmas tree pretty much is by most families,
For sure.
it's not a bad way to go.
I mean,
It's
this
kind
is
of like hospice.
basically I was going to say
It's
it's
like
hospice
hospice
for
for
a
a
tree.
Christmas tree. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
like it.
Not too shabby.
Podcast is a solution, folks. Hospice,
That's what we're here
hospice
for,
for
dude.
trees.
So back home, back in the PN Dub, you guys cut down a live tree or what?
I've never cut down a live tree.
You buy a live tree?
Not. Yeah, yeah. To be fair, I shouldn't say I either. That's more of a family sort of situation. Not that I've once gone out there and purchased a joint. So, um, I don't know. Going out in the woods and cutting's kind of a cool thing. Like that's
Yo, I mean,
some
we're
real
not talking
Carhartt
Clark.
type shit. But
Yeah, we're not talking Clark Griswold here, though. Like my family, we go to a farm, to a tree farm, to cut one down
right,
every year. And so we drive out. Sometimes they're out in West Jersey, sometimes they're in Pennsylvania. We try to mix it up a little bit. And you go out there as a family, you bundle up, you look at all the trees, and like I said, it's a
mm,
farm, so they're just grown in rows. They're sectioned off by the type of tree that they are. My family, we're generally a Douglas fir kind of family. That's where we go to. We like those. We like those more than the spruces or more than some of the other tree species
this is
that are out there.
crazy.
So we go and you find the tree that you like. You like the shape of it. You like the height of it. You get down on your knees with a saw. You cut that sucker down. You carry it back to the barn, and they bundle it up for you.
No, this needs to be recorded. Someone write this
Good thing
down.
we're on a
Todd
podcast.
Roshong, a Douglas fir type of guy.
Hell
He,
yeah.
he doesn't mess with the spruces. He doesn't
I'll
mess
tell
with
you
your
why.
your
I'll tell you
your
why.
pine.
Couple reasons. One, the Douglas fir, the needles on the Douglas fir tree are not that
Okay,
pointy. Like they're pretty soft
mm,
needles. So generally speaking, as you're cutting it down, as you're hanging the
anti-cacti.
ornaments, we've got a dog in the house back home. So like when the dog's running past the tree,
No
they're soft
porcupine.
needles, so you don't have to worry about getting stuck, getting pinched, anything like that. And secondly, they have
Right.
strong enough branches that they can support some heavier ornaments. These are all the types of considerations that go on when you're buying a,
Mm,
a real Christmas tree. When you got the fake tree, you can manipulate those branches whichever way you want to try to make it support the ornament that you're putting on it. When you got a live tree, you're dealing with however its branches grew. Spruces tend to have stronger
spruce.
branches, so you can put like those heavy Lenox and glass type of ornaments on a spruce. You can't necessarily do that everywhere on a Douglas fir because some of the branches are going to be a little weaker, but they're good enough to support a
Man,
variety of
how
weights
does
of
this guy
ornament.
have all this knowledge?
Dude,
Where do
I
you
am
store?
the encyclopedia of useless shit. You should know this by now. You've known me for like 8 years.
We should throw you on the what's that called? Jeopardy. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, Jeopardy.
Jeopardy, I love Jeopardy. I'm definitely not as smart as those people. I would love to compete on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I think I could take those boys down.
That's a low bar. I think we need to set this a little higher for you.
Listen, I will happily take an invitation to the Alex Trebek stage over on Jeopardy, but I will not be advancing. I'll tell you that.
Well, not with that attitude now.
That's true. Maybe I'll get to studying. Something else that we can study though. Study some odds on Polymarket. So
Yeah.
folks, to all of our
Yeah.
listeners, this is something that we started to tease on last week's episode. We said that we had a little tech feature
Yeah.
this just in for you. This is it right here. Polymarket is a new thing on the block. I don't if do you want to try and take it away or at least explain how we learned of this technology here?
Sure. So I actually had read about this, and I was seeing it's very prevalent with gambling. Well, the whole site's gambling, but the design of Polymarket is that you can almost bet on anything, but you have to bet using Bitcoin. Like, so that's how it's designed.
Mhm.
But point being, you can bet on sports games with it, but you can also bet on like broader topics like who the next president of a country will be or who's going to win the Oscars. Like anything can be kind of bet on. And I had read about that these there's another company, I forget the name of it, but Polymarket is kind of taking over some of like the DraftKings or the sports books, if you may, of the
Mhm.
world because there's a lot of different options here.
Mhm.
But it would be remiss if we don't mention and shout out to the main man, Keefan. You know what I'm saying?
But
I know
yeah.
it's Keefan, but I had to rhyme it there. Sorry, big dog. But Keefan came through and at our dinner the other day was really trying to sell us hopping on Polymarket and making a few, bets on the ones and twos. Okay. Then he
Literally
tried
on
to
the ones and
explain
twos.
how the betting works. So I understand that you're betting. I don't really understand how it works. I will also say there's some just incredible bets out there. Like on Polymarket, I was looking today. We could bet on will Taylor Swift be pregnant next year? Right? Will the United States declare if aliens exist by the end of 2025? So all these
Ooh,
odds are going
that's
up
a
and
spicy
down.
one.
You know, yeah, I kind of like that one. What's good?
So
Release
so
the aliens.
release the aliens. So yeah, no, the odds are a little bit interesting. So for any of our listeners who might be familiar with sports betting, there are kind of three main ways that you can bet in sports betting. There's the money line, so who's going to win, right? You've got the over under, which is the point total. And then what am I missing here? You got the
Spread.
money line and the point spread. That's right. Thank you. So the point spread is, either if the team is favored, are they going to cover that spread? Are they going to win by that many or more points? Or is the underdog going to lose by that many or fewer points? So those are kind of the traditional odds that go on in sports betting. Polymarket does things different. So Polymarket's odds are based on percentage of probability. So take, for example, will Taylor Swift get pregnant in the year 2026? Now you looked at it. I don't know what the odds are for that. But say they say there's a 10% chance that that could happen in the year 2026. What that means is that for every dollar, how do I want to explain this? Because it is a little tricky. If you bet 10 cents on something that is 10% chance it's going to happen, and you are correct, you get paid out the full dollar, the full 100% of the probability that it would happen. So take, for example, to scale things up a little bit, because betting in 10-cent increments is, maybe not exciting for everybody. If you take that 10-cent odds, but you bet a dollar on it, okay,
Okay.
what you basically just did was you bought 10 bids of 10%. So instead of getting paid out $1, you're going to get paid out $100 for the dollar that you bought, because every transaction on Polymarket, from my understanding, is basically you versus me. So if I believe in those 10 cents, or if I believe in those 10%, I put down 10 cents. If you believe in the 90%, you put down 90 cents. There's a full dollar in the pot. And then whoever is correct at the end of it takes the whole dollar. Does that make sense?
I get taking the whole dollar, but I guess if you bet a dollar though, that's the whole pot. So
Well,
you'd
so
have to
that's the
put
thing.
in.
That it's not that that's the
Wait, so
whole
wait,
pot. It's that you're
let's do
buying
one
more
here.
shares. All
Let's
right,
do
yeah,
this
read
one
one
right here.
out.
This one's tough, but the question is, will Jesus Christ return in the year 2025?
Will
Big,
Jesus return in
big time bet.
2025? Will Jesus
Yes.
return in the next 4 weeks? Okay. So what are the
Right. So
odds?
we have a few days for this to happen. So
So we got 20,
I think
28 days.
I'd be slinging the no on this one. But if we did sling the yes, it's a 4 cents on yes, 99.7 cents. Oh shoot, sorry, I'm sorry. It's zero point 0.4 cents on yes and 99.7 cents on no.
Okay.
So
That
that's
feels like that should
percentage.
be,
It's off by one. It should
if
be
yes,
three in a
that
sense, but
n-
it's
either
probably
point
just
oh.
rounded up.
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
All right.
that
So the
makes
way
sense.
that
So if I
so
bet
the way that so
on
if you
yes,
bet
I'm gonna do 4 cents.
so if you bet 4 cents on yes, your payout 4 cents or 0.4 cents.
I'm getting confused. I'm confusing my own self.
This is this is
Yes,
a
it's
tough one
point
because
0.4 cents. So how on earth do I do 0.4 cents? Is that
so I get
oh, it's 4 cents. No, it's not.
no,
If
it's
I do
not.
4 cents, I get $10.
Right,
So it's
exactly.
zero
So
zero
I can so
four.
I can explain that. Yes, it
I
should be
can't even bet.
0.004. So
Bro,
you
this is
can't
so
bet less
confusing.
than a full cent. You picked a bad example here.
Okay, let's go find another. Sorry, I just thought this was hilarious if Jesus Christ was going to return this year.
That is a good one. But find something that's got a more normal, 10% to 90%,
Yes and
50,
no type
50, 50.
situation. Yeah, all of those are bad. Okay, wait, here we go. This one's a little bit higher. Will the US confirm that aliens exist before 2027? Okay. The yes
Okay.
is at 9 cents and the no's at 92 cents.
Okay, perfect. So what this
So
means
if I do
is if you think
9
that
cents,
aliens will get announced in the next 13 months and you bet
yep,
9 cents, your
yep,
payout is going to be $1.
$1, correct. And if
But
I bet 92 cents,
on yes,
oh wait, no, sorry.
you got to bet
Yeah,
those
wait,
cents on the
isn't it
no.
92 cents? Right. That's why.
If you bet
Folks,
92
I
cents
don't get
on
gambling,
no,
man.
your payout would be $1.
$1, correct.
So on the
So you
9
win 8
cents,
cents.
right, you would win 8 cents versus if you bet yes, you would win 92 cents, right?
Right. So if you put 92 cents down and bet no, you win 8 cents if you are
Mhm.
correct. But then there was something about this that Kevin was saying that this is a good bet to talk about. Will aliens exist before 2027? It appreciates, right, or something like that, because it's almost like
The
an
odds are
investment throughout the year.
the, yeah, so that was an interesting kind of little factoid about this, I guess. So take for instance this bet of will aliens be announced by the US government by the end of 2027? Sure, let's just go with that. So
Yeah.
if you took either side of it, doesn't matter if you take the yes or the no. But let's take the yes. And instead of betting only 9 cents to get paid out $1, say you bet
Right.
90 cents to get paid out $100, right? You take those 90 cents and you give them to Polymarket. They're no longer in
Mhm.
your crypto account. It's almost like having like a savings account in a way. Obviously, the money is not guaranteed because if your bet loses, you
Mm.
lose the money. But
You're done.
if you put in that 90 cents now, for the next calendar year, you can accrue interest on your 90 cents. So your bet value at the time of decision, yes or no, has actually gone up from the 90 cents that you bet. So you might have bet 90 cents now, and by the time they decide, due to interest, you might be at $1, which gives you the chance of an even higher payout.
It's crazy.
It's
It's
no,
crazy.
it's absolutely ridiculous. Like I personally am way more accustomed to the traditional DraftKings sportsbook type betting, DraftKings, FanDuel, Underdog, whatever
Right.
app you want to
Right.
use doesn't matter. I'm used to just talking about money lines, point spreads, and over unders, and that stuff makes sense to me. Polymarket is a whole new world, so this is something that we can keep coming back to. Like, dude, we could have a whole Polymarket segment where we pick out like
Dude,
what's the
I'm
bet of
saying this
the bet of the
podcast
week.
could be right. The podcast could be
Who knows? Who knows?
100% this. It's crazy. The amount of stuff on here, man. The Portugal
I mean, hey,
presidential election. Like what?
hey, I got a good one for you. What are the odds? What are the odds that Steve Cohen's $8 billion casino
Right.
opens on time by June 2030? What are the odds it opens on time? Yes or no?
I'm gonna go no.
You're gonna
I
say
don't know
no.
the odds.
Then we don't know the odds. We'd have to make up the odds, or maybe Polymarket has
But
the odds. We'll have to take a
2030? That's a long
yeah,
time, man.
dude. Yeah, no, they're looking at building that casino. That's our next This Just In, folks. Steve Cohen, owner of the New York Mets, got approval to build an $8 billion hotel casino complex right outside of the Mets home stadium, Citi Field, over there in Flushing, Queens. So their target date is 2030, June 2030. Not even the start of the season. Like, can't you get it ready before the season starts? It feels like if you're shooting for June 2030, why not shoot for April 2030, right?
Yeah, but wouldn't this not really matter? Like, isn't it supposed to be to try to bring people out to that area when the season's not happening?
I mean, I guess so, but from him being the owner of the Mets, you would think that he has a vested interest in making sure that people are there on site to bet on the sports book for the games that are happening across the parking lot.
I guess that's
I
true.
don't
I
know.
didn't even think sportsbook ways. No, this is fair. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it makes the area cooler. It seems like they're going to be putting in a lot of like park space, like
Mm-hmm.
grassland and stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
did
But
see that.
my worry is that it's just going to be really crowded now to get out there, and the 7 train's already bad.
True.
Like, we got to make this worse. It's
Yeah,
just
we'll find out. Obviously, I haven't looked at like renderings of the architecture or anything like that, how it's actually going to pan all out. But I would think, New York City is very stingy with these types of licenses for casinos, for hotels. So clearly, they had a good proposal in front of them that made sense for the city to say yes to it. So yeah,
right.
hopefully the seven
Yeah,
line doesn't get too bad. We got a few years
but
before this comes to fruition. So
I don't understand. If I can just bet on my phone, and I could bet right now on my laptop if Jesus Christ will return by the end of the year, why do I need to go to a casino?
okay. So do
First and
you need
foremost,
to?
one of the worst places in the world. And I'm not even hating on people betting. Casinos, though, they're not designed for you to have a good time.
They're
You, you
designed
know,
for a
you know
certain
that
type of
scene.
person.
Remember that scene in in the Denzel movie, in Fences, and he was like, "Some fences are designed to keep people out, and some fences are designed to keep people in."
That's
That
right.
right there, that's the casino.
Mm-hmm.
Casinos,
They are
none of them are designed to
intentionally
keep people out.
no,
All
exactly.
designed to keep people in.
They want to lure you in. You look at places out in Vegas. They don't have any clocks on the wall, right? They got no windows. They got the ceiling of the
Well, not even
casino
that.
painted like it's a sunny day, so that you think that you're there and all is well, and you haven't been there that long. There's literally like interior design of casinos, like
Yeah.
they have no straight hallways. Everything is slightly curved. There's no hard corners because you don't want to feel like you're in the corner of a room. Everyone wants to feel like they're in the main action. It's intentionally confusing to have the hallways to get you in and out of the place because you're exactly right. They want to keep you there because the more you're there, the more you bet, the more money they make.
And so I understand why you would go in the beginning, and like why Vegas slash Atlantic City would have been so popular because you can't really bet in a lot of places, a lot of states. But now with online bet, I just don't get.
Yeah,
I
so
feel like
obviously the
Vegas is
landscape
taking
is
off. I'm
changing.
like, why?
Obviously the landscape is changing, right? I think in terms of sports betting, which is obviously a big part of it, but online casinos too. I think it's legal in 35 plus states in the US, right? So you don't have to physically go to a casino. You can just go on your phone and place a bet. Um, but this is kind of the argument that we run into nowadays in the modern world. It's like, have we gone so far into technology that we're searching for like a real life human interaction that we want to go back to the casinos because you feel something, you get an experience out of it instead of just looking at your little phone
Hmm.
screen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I guess that's what they want, right? But
Totally.
it just seems to me that this would be something that I would rather not have to go to a place to do.
Yeah, like I
Right,
said,
like
it
a
depends
movie
on the
theater.
person.
It's a big screen.
But
Boom.
here's
You
the
know
other
that you
thing.
get a better
In terms of
return on
a
a
in
sense.
terms of a
I don't know.
casino and more traditional casino games, okay. The thing is, for someone like a slot machine, it's you versus the house. You may as well kind of do it on your phone, right? Because
Right.
there's no difference of a phone doing a spin or a physical machine doing a spin. In the same way, kind of similar with like a blackjack, right? It's you versus the dealer. But if you want to go play proper poker, if you want to go play
Yeah, no, that's
craps,
fair.
if you want to go play roulette, you need other people at the table to be betting. You can't do those in the same way
What's that joint that
virtually.
spins? You
Roulette.
throw the die. That looks pretty sick. Maybe we
Well, the
should
one
do
that
it.
the one that you
Never
throw
been
the
to a casino.
dice, the one where you throw the dice down the table, that's craps.
What a
And
terrible
you want
name.
You want to try to land on 7, I think, for craps. I think that's the winning
Why would
number.
we call it craps?
Roulette is they just spin the wheel and there's a little ball on it, and you bet is it going to be red or black, and you can bet on the specific number, and the 0 and the double 0 are green, so the odds are always in the whatever, always in the
It's
casino's
ridiculous.
favor.
How the hell?
Dude, I mean, the only casino that I've really been in theory, is like on a cruise ship. You can go sit in the casino, and it's a good way to kill time when you're just on the water for a day and a half. Play the slot machines, play some blackjack, but like otherwise, I personally, I'm with you. I don't really have a desire to go because I'm not trying to gamble my money away. Like I do a little bit of sports betting here and there, but dude, I'm not talking any sort of big numbers here. Like the biggest bet
Yeah,
I'll
but
ever
like
place is
that.
like $5.
But that I understand in the sense because you have to have some sort of knowledge on it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could
Yeah,
research something, you could
you
do it
like to
right. Like
think that you can
poker,
beat the
there's a
odds,
skill,
right?
but there's a
For
skill.
sure.
If I'm just pulling a lever,
Yeah,
I,
I'm
I-
with you.
you know,
Why would you go sit at a
I don't
slot
know.
machine? I'm absolutely with you. I don't know, man. So we'll see. We'll see how Steve
But
Cohen's
I will
project
say
turns
this:
out.
I probably have better odds at the slot machine than at the Mets game.
Well, who
You know what I
knows?
mean?
There's been some changes to the team this offseason already.
Yeah, I know. Hey, but I'm kind of about this right now. I know people are sad right now that we got rid of Brandon Nimmo. Shout out Brandon Nimmo one time.
9 years with the
Pretty
team,
pretty loyal man.
legend.
I like Marcus Simeon.
It's an interesting move from the Mets perspective. I think it makes sense, right? Because Nimmo had, I think, 4 or 5 more years on his deal of guaranteed money, and he's
Yeah, a
getting
little
up there
bit
a little
more.
bit. Marcus
Yeah,
Simeon, I think there's only 2 more years left on his deal so a 1-to-1 player swap where all you're gonna do is basically lower your payroll in years 3 through 5, looking outward. That's a pretty good deal. You know,
right.
they needed help on the infield. That was, getting someone who can play a proper second base next to Lindor is something that they needed defensively. So it
Could be
makes a lot of
huge. Could
sense.
be huge.
And looking from the Rangers side of things, they were one of the most inconsistent hitting teams in baseball last year. Brandon Nimmo is your guy. Like he's just going to go up to the plate. He's going to hit a solid 275 every year. You can count on
No,
him.
I
He's going
don't
to
think
be there.
so. I think you're overestimating him. He
Dude,
was like
no, look at
240, 230.
maybe last year, but dude, he's been
Nah,
if if his average has been declining, maybe so, but he is throughout the season that average is consistent. It's not like he spikes and has a
I
really
don't know.
hot month and then a really cold month. If
No,
he's
I think
hitting
you're wrong
250,
there.
that means
All
he's
he
hitting
ever does.
250 1 out of every 4 at
No,
bats.
all he ever was inconsistent. The Mets are all they ever are is inconsistent.
That's the Mets.
And I
All
bet
right, but I
every
swear you
team
look at
says it.
Nimmo's numbers
But
is
I'm
different.
telling you right now, I want like a Stephen Kwan type character, someone just who hits the ball. I
Mm.
miss that in baseball. Where's someone who steps up to the plate and just gets a hit? I don't need the home run. I don't need. Just give me. I want to see
Dude,
some contact ball. A little Milwaukee
that's
Brewer
how
action.
I was gonna say that's exactly
But
how the Brewers play
just
ball.
telling you,
That's how the Blue Jays play ball. That's how they were in the World Series this year. They just go up and they slap them
yeah, it usually
together,
doesn't
dude.
work.
String some runs together that way. I don't know, man. Yeah, we'll
Playoffs, it
see. I
usually
mean,
doesn't work, and that's why teams shy away from it. But I'm just saying, I think it's just more fun to watch. I'm kind of done with
absolutely,
this
I'm with
whole
you. The long ball is not
swing
as
and miss.
exciting as people think it is. I'm not big on
Nah, it's
home
pretty
runs.
dope. It's
I
pretty
mean,
dope.
it's
I'm
exciting,
just saying, I
sure.
like to see a hit.
But what would you rather see? Would you rather see 2 guys walk and then a 3-run home run, or would you rather see 3 doubles in a row?
Probably the home run.
Really?
100%. It's a cooler thing to in person. Way cooler thing to watch.
After dealing with just people
It's
standing
more
there, not
impressive.
lifting the bat off their shoulder, a couple of guys are just sitting there.
A walk's a hit, as far as I'm concerned. If you got on base, good. Thank you. And that's the thing with Nimmo is he gets on base, so that's what we're losing a lot there. So even if his average is lower, the kid just gets on, and you got to respect that he just runs to first base. But I don't get this. All these Mets fans are like all sad, and they're like playing his walk up song, which is like "I'm a son of God." I'm like, why are we playing that right now? Like, stop! Like
We
that.
gotta
That
move
was
on
one
to the
thing I'm
next
actually
one.
excited for. Yeah, like that. I don't have to hear this crappy ass song again. And I'm not
Yeah, I
even
wonder
hating on
what.
Jesus, folks. The song was
I
just bad.
wonder.
I don't
Yeah,
need that song.
I wonder what Simeon's going to pull up the City Field with. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, Simeon doesn't pull up with some like country ass tune.
Listen,
You
just
know what
because
I
he came
mean?
from the
I don't
Rangers
know.
doesn't mean he's a country guy. I don't know, man.
I'm just talking about some of the worst songs you could possibly have. This is all right. Two things. One, Todd didn't let me have a WD-40 this week, so
That's
I'm
not
upset
true.
about that. So it could be a WD-40 that I wasn't allowed to have a WD-40, or this one you could pull out the can and start greasing. Is
Here we go.
song structure. Okay, country songs, and I'm not even hating on the music. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about structure of song. They are intentionally not intricate. They're intentionally basic so that you can sing along to it, which is actually
Correct.
it's a great idea. It's a great idea, and it's those country songs and like Christian rock. They are just intentionally basic so that you
Okay,
can like
so yes, yeah.
vibe to it and remember it. And I
I'm
just
not
think
going to
that's
argue.
terrible.
I'm not going to argue with you. You are absolutely right. Are they the most intricate, detailed, creative songs that you're going to
No,
hear? No.
but
But are
that's
you
not the
going to
point.
hear that? Are you going to hear that chorus once, and by the second verse you're ready to sing along? Yes.
Right, right, and that's the point. Which
It's
is it's a good
exactly.
idea. I'm not even hating on that. And I think that there's especially America, we're dumb, and we need something broken down for us. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so great, but I don't know. It's definitely not for me. And not saying that there's rap songs out there that are not basic. Okay, 100%. All right,
It
but I'm just
exists,
talking about
but there's more
the
creativity in the
country.
rap genre.
Country is the one genre. I don't have the best voice, but I guarantee you I could write, if we want to say a song, an album, you name it.
Could you
You
write
name it.
one? I have
Yes.
1,000% faith that you could write one. Yes, I do.
That's what I'm saying. I almost guarantee you I could do it. I don't think I could do well, I think anyone could do it. Obviously, I should take that back. Anyone could write a song and go out there. But I think I could write something that you go, man, we gave this to Mr. Combs. We gave this to the Keith Richards, whatever his name is. Yeah, we might have a bop on our hands, you know? I think I could get something rolling.
It sounds like we got to
That's all
get you to
I'm saying.
Nashville. It sounds like we got to get
Yeah,
you over to
maybe
Nashville.
that's what I that's it. So send my demo out. Okay. I
Well,
sip
as
cold beer with Jesus in my ear.
oh,
No
wow, here we
Brandon
go,
Nemo. Nothing to fear. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look it. I just made a
folks.
good little track right there.
Folks, that was a good little tune. You got a first take. Everyone right there, all of our dedicated listeners, you know what
First
they
take.
just experienced? They just experienced one time
One
productions
time.
right there.
Production. Heard it
Very
here
good.
first.
Well, hey, I
That
mean, with
was a
that,
long-winded way.
should we take ourselves straight into the spins and flips section? I mean, we still got to get to our Navidius, but
No,
on the
no,
heels of music.
no. You know why? Because I have fan mail that I want to
Oh,
bring
okay.
up.
All right, all
Because
right, all right.
someone messaged me
Yeah, I haven't heard this one.
directly. Someone messaged me directly, and I want to talk about this on the podcast. So, I don't know if a few loyal listeners. Oh well, loyal listeners, that kind of defeats the purpose. But if you were on the Instagrams in the social media profiles and you see the visuals, you'll see right here. Well, your boy Nick D got a new haircut, new wig alert,
Ooh,
new wig alert.
that's right. That's
New
right.
bag alert, new bag alert. Remember that song with Migo? Come on now. But this is new wig alert. I got a haircut. So shout out level 78 barbershop down here in the city. My girl Jenny
Mm-hmm.
got me right. Okay, so
Oh
here's
yeah.
the fan mail. I guess some of the loyal listener viewers, they saw the haircut. They really liked the haircut and
Mm-hmm.
noticed that T. Rowe Price hasn't cut his hair in a while. So fan mail coming in from Joanne Egan.
Oh, is that
Okay.
so?
Yeah. Joanne Egan. Shout
Is that
out.
so?
For those who don't know, this is Todd's mom. Todd's mom Instagram DM me. She say, Nick D, I love the new wig. Love the fresh haircut. But when is my son gonna
Uh-huh.
get a haircut? Because he needs
Okay,
one,
mom.
and he needs one
Okay,
ASAP,
mom.
no Rocky. And I responded, I said, wow.
Wow.
Joanne Egan knowing the ASAP Rocky quote.
I gotta say so.
That's a
I gotta
one-timer.
say. I
Okay.
gotta
But
say. To
hey,
think that my
shout out.
mom To think that my mom took this to your DMs instead of saying it to my face at Thanksgiving. Wow. This
Oh, I
is
know she
interesting.
did that too.
She's
I know
bought
she
into the
did that too.
All right, did she say that I needed a haircut when I was at Thanksgiving dinner? Yes. Did she tell me that I needed it ASAP, no Rocky? No. So I got to have a conversation with my mother as to what she's listening to when I'm not around. I try to tell her to get off of TikTok, but it doesn't work. So clearly she's hearing some things that she probably shouldn't be. But man, listen, I got to say,
Nah, you know what your mom was saying? She said every time I listen to your podcast, I gotta close the window because New York know how to be quiet.
listen, I will say,
Put
I
him
do know my
quiet.
mom.
I
My
said, put
mom's a
him in the
big
dirt.
fan of the show. My mom discovered our social media organically. I didn't even tell her about it.
Oh, wow, wow. Hey, okay, that's
Hey,
good.
we got
Good
some
business right
organic
there.
growth. So
Yeah.
listen, I had probably 6 family members at Thanksgiving say, "Man, you need a haircut," and I said, "Thanks, I'll get it eventually." The thing is,
That's tough,
I got
man.
a, I got a
I don't think it
complex. All
looks
right,
that
dude.
bad. I won't cap.
I appreciate that. The thing is, I got a complex. All right, and there's one person in this world who gives me this complex, and it's my girlfriend. All right, it's how the girlfriend likes when the hair is long. I can't explain her logic. I will say
You
I
know,
get something in my Italian genes. If I pull the hair, I get some wavy, some
okay.
curly hair going on. You know,
Yo,
her
stop
hair.
looking like Dear Maria right now.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
That's why we got to push it
No,
back.
that's
We
a
can't
problem,
be,
man. Yeah, you gotta
we
push.
can't be
If
bringing
you
it.
keep
We
throwing that over, we're
we're
gonna
gonna have
think
Joe
you're on
Juback
that like
showing up out
trippy
of
red
nowhere.
phase. Yeah, you're gonna start playing the guitar in your room type phase, man.
Oh boy, no,
It's
no, we
gonna
can't go
be
there.
a tough scene.
Hey, listen,
Paramore.
man. I gotta say, do I know my hair is long? Absolutely. It's getting a little unkempt, as they say. It's a little hard to maintain when it gets to be this long, especially on the sides, on the back. It's
Yeah,
it's getting out of control a little bit. I will admit. So I got a good barber here in Connecticut. Shout out to my boy Abdel. He's from Casablanca, from Morocco,
Abdel
and yeah, oh
Casablanca.
yeah,
Wow,
he tells some great stories. He's a great
dude. You
man.
know what this is like? His name's Abdel, which sounds like Abel, who's the weekend, and he's from Casablanca, Morocco, where French Montana's from. So this just sounds like he's kind of a
He's just
mix of The Weeknd and French Montana, which would be a
yeah, he's
great song. Actually, they do have a song together. What am I talking about? What's the name of that song? I should remember that now.
I don't know, man. But yeah, so my barber Abdel, maybe he's a little bit of an amalgamation, yeah, of the two rappers. But I will say he does a hell of a job with the clippers, with the scissors, with the buzzer. He
Okay.
gets me cleaned up. He gets me cleaned up straight. So I'll
Yeah.
pay him a visit. I acknowledge it, folks. I'll pay him a visit. Here's the thing. I think when I go
Hey,
though,
next time you see him, bring up the song "Gifted." See if he
I'll let him know.
knows about
I'll
that.
let him know.
Yeah. Oh, fun
Uh,
fact, by the way, for everybody out there, the most I think the highest grossing artist from the country of Africa is French Montana because he was
I
technically
would
born in
believe that.
Morocco.
I would believe that. That makes sense.
It doesn't to me at all. There hasn't been a bigger artist from the continent of Africa than French Montana.
But from where? From Egypt? From
That's
South
the point, bro.
Africa?
That's the point. I guess so. Well, man, music's everywhere. Music's universal.
Music is universal, yeah, for sure. But you got to think about. I mean, I look at it just sheerly from the economics. I look at GDP of these countries. Morocco is up there. Morocco's probably, if not top three, at least top
No,
five in
you're
terms of
crazy for
GDP
that.
on the continent of Africa. No, it's
What's
true.
GDP for Jamaica? What's GDP for Puerto Rico?
I'm
Two of the
not
biggest artists of
comparing.
all time.
I'm not comparing country to
It
country's
doesn't matter.
GDPs.
You don't need
I'm
money.
saying I'm saying that you were surprised that Morocco is the biggest in Africa. That was my comparison.
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm surprised that French Montana is the biggest African artist in terms of grossing sales of all time.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's not a bigger artist from the whole entire continent
Like I said, I feel like
in the
that doesn't
history
it doesn't surprise me
of the
that much.
world.
I'm not
Will Jesus Christ return in 2025, folks? Bet it on Polymarket.
0.04 cents on the dollar, folks.
That was like an ad. That was an ad. Yeah, that we're not getting paid for. But no, actually, you know what? This is my new Polymarket. Will, by the year 2026, Todd Roshong get a haircut? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
interesting.
Will it be
So
chopped? Hey, I'm betting. I'm gonna bet the the yes on this. I'm sorry, LB. I'm sorry. I think you're the only girlfriend I've ever heard that likes the long hair too. But
She does.
that's a
She
keeper then,
does.
Todd. That's a keeper.
I got a good one, I will say, but I think I am gonna get it cut. I think I'm gonna get it cut very soon.
Well, but now this
Um,
is insider
but
trading. I'm trying to bet bet the yes
all
on
right,
it.
all right, all right. And then, hey, everyone who was
Me and
listening,
Kiefer can
forget.
go at it. Yeah.
We're gonna forget the last 90 seconds of what you heard.
All right, all right, all right. No, no, no. Okay, I'll make it better in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, there you go. That now we got an interesting bet because I don't know when I'm gonna make an appointment. But what I will
Mhm.
say is when I go, if it happens in the next 2 weeks or not, that's to be determined. That's for the world to find out. I don't think I'm gonna do it the way I normally do. The thing is, I
What do you mean?
have a, I have a propensity that I go very long periods of time with not getting a haircut, and then
Yes, sir. Save
I go
money.
to the barber and I just say, Give me a 2 on the sides and the scissors on top and tighten it down." And it makes it real short. When I go next
Yep.
time, I think what I might do is more of a, listen, keep it on the longer side, but give me a shape up. Help
Mm,
me, contain the sides a bit more.
okay.
I don't have to take off multiple inches off the top. Maybe it's an inch or half an inch. Just shorten it up a little bit so it's not curling so much. But I don't think I'm gonna go crazy. But shout out to Jenny. Shout out to what was that? 78th Street Barbers. Listen,
Yeah, level
I
78 or some.
level
Yep.
78. We appreciate the question. We appreciate um, what they do. And listen,
Jenny cut
mom,
my hair. Your mom asked the question.
next time you got something to say, give me a call. All right. Listen,
That's
that's
tough,
all
but
I got on the haircut.
no, no, but actually right here, speaking of your mom, the spins and flips section, I
Yeah.
think your mom has to do with the spins and flips section this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Um, I think you're slightly mistaken, but that's all right. I mean, spins and flips, folks, as we know, we talk about records, we talk about books. I mean, I'll say my mom is a big
Mhm.
reader, so that's a big part of it. My mom has always been a big reader. She tried encouraging me to be a better reader when I was younger, and
Shout
as
out.
any as any kind of middle school, high school boy, most I would say, I did not listen to her. I was not a good reader when I was younger. I didn't read a single from the time I graduated
And you
high
ain't
school.
listening now. You didn't get the haircut.
I haven't got the haircut, so I guess I'm just a delinquent child. What are we gonna do? I will say, from the time I graduated high school, when I was in my AP Lit class, through to the time to
Okay.
after graduating college,
It's lit.
I don't think I read a book throughout the entirety of college. Like I had textbooks, obviously, that I had to be, nose deep in. But in terms of just reading for leisure, I didn't do it. But I finally got back into it, especially this calendar year. In the year 2025, I set a goal for myself at the beginning of the year. I wanted to read 12 books. I wanted to read one book a month. And so far, I think I'm on pace, assuming I finish my current book by year end. I think I will have finished 15 books this year. So I met my goal. I got into
Strength,
reading a lot.
consistency,
That's right.
determination.
So we're gonna keep that consistency going into 2026. But the way that brings us into the spins and flips section for this week, I saw something interesting on Instagram. Somebody that I know was participating in a bit of a free book exchange. I thought this was cool. So the way it basically works, someone puts it up on their Instagram story and says, "Hey, I want to do a book exchange. DM me if you're interested." Okay. And someone DMs them back and says, "Yeah, I want to get in on this. How do I do it?" And you say, "Okay, here is the address of a random person. You mail them a book for free. You pick out your favorite book, most likely from Amazon. You send them a book. And then you put this same picture that I had on my story, you put it on your story. Okay. And then when someone replies to your story, rather than having that person mail person number one a book, they mail me a book and you tell them to repost so that when someone sees their story, they mail you a book. So it's kind of like a pay it forward type of thing
Nah,
in
wait a minute.
terms of a
This
book exchange.
that got confusing. So, folks,
I
somebody
definitely.
decided to post something.
All right,
Okay,
here's what we're going to do. We're going to use names.
on
We're going to use
Instagram.
names. It'll make things easier,
Go
right?
ahead. Go
We're
ahead.
going to use names. All right. I saw this post from a girl named Jenna. All right. I DM her and say, "I want in." Okay. Jenna says, "Cool. Here's Kylie's address." mail Kylie a
Yep.
book, and put this picture on your story. When someone DMs you, don't give them Kylie's address, give them Jenna's address. Okay, so I do that, right? You DM me. You said, yeah, I want in on this. So I gave you Jenna's
Right.
address. You mail her a book. Then you put it
Right.
on your story. And when someone responds to your story, you
I
give
give
them
them
my
yours.
address.
Right.
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 And we create a pay it forward type of chain. So people are just mailing each other either books that you have, or you can order a brand new book off of Amazon and ship it to the person whose address you
So,
received.
so
So I
this
don't know
is
who this
this is
Kylie
where
person is. I never met this Kylie person, but I mailed her a book, one of the books that I enjoyed reading last year,
right.
2024. I sent her a copy of it over Amazon. It got delivered to her
What
house.
would we send her?
I sent her Anthem by Ayn Rand. It's a very interesting kind of dystopian type of
Okay.
book. It was written back, I want to say, in the 1930s, 40s or so, and it was a very futuristic look at the time of what would a post AI apocalyptic dystopian world look like, where what they basically came to the conclusion of was like, we need to strip out people's identities. They didn't want any kind of new creative ideas coming out. They separated the men and the women. People were just assigned to roles. And so the main character that you follow, he was assigned as a street sweeper, but he always had this kind of like inclination for knowledge, and he wanted to be the people who were assigned to the library, but that he didn't get a choice. So he kind of rebels against the authorities above him, and there are a lot of events that unfold following that. So I'll leave it there. I don't want to spoil any further, but great book, very thought-provoking type of book with the dystopian world that Ayn Rand has created. She's a great author. She's written
So
some other big ones, Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, some really really good books by Ayn Rand. So highly recommend.
first, shout out Ayn Rand. Keep doing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I have to apologize, folks, and take back something that I said earlier. I said, speaking of Joanne Egan, right, which is Todd's
Mm-hmm.
mom, that we're now getting to the spins and flips section. So I had DM Todd and said, I'm interested to do this book cycle, and you sent me back the person that I have to send the book to,
Mm-hmm.
which you mentioned is this girl Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Jenna Eoga.
Yep.
Eoga? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yoga. Yoga.
Yoga. I thought that was Joanne Egan.
Yeah, you're not mailing my
In my
mom a book.
memory, that's how I remembered it. And when I first saw that, I thought I was mailing Todd's mom a book, and I was like, okay, all right, this is fun. But now that it's Jenna Yoga, it's a different story. So I just
Very different story.
apologize. I got the names confused.
That's okay.
Same initials though. Same
Same
initials.
initials. I'll give it
So
to you. I can see where the
I'll take
confusion came from.
that.
So apology
Right, right.
accepted.
My bad there.
All good.
To
All good.
everybody and the loyal
So yeah,
listeners.
so that's how the book exchange works. So maybe
Pretty
I
cool
could post
situation.
it. I could post it on the interlude story for all of our dedicated followers, and if
Yeah,
anyone
it's
wants
a
to
good idea.
participate, send me a DM. We'll share you an address that you can mail a book to, and then feel free to take part in the action. It's a good time. It's just
I also like
especially
this
around the
because
holidays.
right. I also like this though because I could send Jenna a book, and if I don't want to put it on my own Instagram, I don't have to.
You don't
I'm not
have
going to get a
to.
book in return. But I kind of like the idea that you can just kind of participate in it.
If
The
you
only thing
wanted
though is that
to,
if I don't do it, it harms you, I guess,
in
because then you
theory,
don't.
right? Yeah, because then
Right.
nobody is seeing my address to mail me a book, but that's all right. I'm more than happy
That's on me.
with sending my book over to Kai. I'm good with that.
Have the
If
loyal
you want,
listeners send a book to Interlude Media.
we got to get a PO box or something.
Interlude Media at 31 Drive. I don't know where we would be posted.
It's a good question. We'll have to figure that
That's
one out.
okay. That's all right. But this is a cool concept. I thought that this right here is using social media to the powerful connection benefits that I like to dream it was designed for. I don't think that's true necessarily, and there's a lot of negative that can come with it. But this is a cool, positive idea that
Mm-hmm.
pretty grassroots movement we're big on the grassroots movement here. See, at Interlude Media, we're a podcast as a solution service, right? What was it?
Mm-hmm.
Podcast as
Podcasting
as a
as a
solution pass.
service.
Oh, my bad. We're a solutions based company.
That's right.
That's where I was getting confused with. But podcasting as a service, and this right here is just a beautiful service that I believe. So
Mm-hmm. I agree.
thank you. And,
Yeah,
and
no,
I said
absolutely.
that we should talk about this in the flip section because I think one, not only are you reading, flipping, but you're flipping a book, yo. This is reread, reuse. What was it? Reduce, reuse,
Reduce, reuse,
recycle. Bam,
recycle. That's it.
the triple R. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And you could throw the fourth in there, and you know what that is? Roshong, baby. Come on,
You
come
already
on.
know.
Don't play.
You already know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, it's a great concept. So, maybe this is something that, I'm not just going to wait for the next time it pops up on my story. Maybe I'll do this more regularly. I'll be the one who kicks it off, and hopefully we
Yeah.
build up some
Why don't
steam.
we get an
And
interlude one rolling?
we get some,
You
yeah,
know.
I'll put it up on the interlude story. I got no problem
But
with that.
you know what we could do? Hey, I'm all about books, folks. All about books. I actually read. Some of y'all might be surprised. Screw you. But I actually read. Second, though, something I do like and enjoy more than reading is a quick donut. And I don't
Mm,
mean food, I mean some spins. So we could throw some albums on this. Now, I know many people don't have physicals on the album, but if you do and you want to, you know, get vinyls in return, I don't know. I think this is a cool idea.
this is definitely
It's
something that we could scale up more than just books.
potential,
I
right?
think the reason books work so easily, so seamlessly, is because of the existence of something like Amazon, where it's an online
Right. You can
bookstore,
get
and
records, right?
you could, right? They're a little more, uh, I would say, fragile in the mail compared to a book, but nonetheless,
Well,
something we
I
could
mean, I guess.
definitely we could look into without a doubt.
Or shout out my boy Ian Mesner one time. Movies,
There you go.
shout out Griffin Connor 2 time. Movies could be in
Yeah,
this too.
yeah, we can
I
make
don't
this
know. I think
work.
this is a cool. Shout out my guy Zakari because he used to play video games all the time. With video games,
Ooh, a little video game exchange.
right? Little exchange.
Send someone your
I don't know.
favorite game. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing
Figure
right
out the
now.
console, figure out how to do that one. But no, it's a good
Yeah, I mean you
idea.
got to put that in, but it's just a different vibe. I feel like this kind of grassroots posting, it has very much like
Like you said, it's a good
book
use of
people.
social media. It's a really
Yeah.
good use of social media and the
Well, why don't we
reach that you
promote good
can
uses
get.
of social media? That's what I'm
We
saying.
should. We should
Right.
improve the
Right.
world of social media. I'd like to
Good.
think that we do that with
Speak.
each and every
Yo,
interlude post
speaking of
that
that,
goes up there.
speaking of social media, did you see who Syracuse football signed?
Oh, this is a good one, dude. This is our Navidius Wilburn. How could you
Oh,
not want
yeah,
to
my bad.
watch?
Huge.
How could you
Hendrick.
not want to watch the 2026 Syracuse football season with platinum recording artist Toosie as a wide receiver on the team?
Dude, we signed a kid with over 4 million followers on social media.
Dude, this is huge for NIL.
That's crazy. Yo, this guy's got songs with like 21
Yeah.
and all of them.
Dude, he's pausing his music
I knew who
career.
he was. I knew who he was. Toosie. Not to be confused with the Toosie slide that
Mm-mm.
Drake did. It's not that guy Toosie. This is a different man named Toosie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess young adult, I should say. He's 25.
25. 25, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, he's pausing his music career to go back to
But
college to play football for the
it's just kind of
Syracuse
funny.
Orange. He was born in Syracuse.
We just have rappers play ball for us. We don't really
Dude,
worry about the
dude,
quality product of the actual sport we're playing. We're just about the characters. This kind of reminds me of when the Mets signed Tim Tebow. You know, we're just really about people who got a
dude,
story to them.
the fact that we got to see Tim Tebow play live for the AAA Syracuse Mets is
It's kind of
still
a beautiful thing.
it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
But dude,
it's honestly
what I
a
was gonna say?
gorgeous thing.
What I was gonna say is, I'm sure you've heard this theory, if you will. Okay, in order to win a national championship, take something like the Super Bowl, okay, of the NFL, to win some sort of a national championship, typically there's a rapper that comes from that city. All right, so the Eagles most recently won the Super
I've not
Bowl.
heard this.
Meek
This is
Mill.
hilarious.
Meek Mill. Okay.
But
You look
most
at New
cities now
York.
have rappers.
You look in New York, right? You got what? Plenty of options. Atlanta, plenty of options. LA, plenty of options. Okay.
But Atlanta
But
hasn't won. I don't know if this
not in
take is
football.
accurate.
Not in football, they haven't. But either way, what I'm
Because the
getting at
Bills
is
should
if
be winning. Griselda's on a tear right now.
maybe this is
Hey,
their
yo.
year.
Boo, 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 boo.
Maybe this will be the Bills' year, to be determined. But what I will say is if that logic can carry through to college football, Syracuse is going to win the national championship next year, is all I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
but the thing is, the kid's from Atlanta.
No, he's born in Syracuse.
Born in Syracuse. Yeah,
That's
but
why he's playing
he
for
reps
Cuse.
Atlanta. He reps Atlanta.
Hey, I don't know.
Toosie reps Atlanta.
He's
Shout
going to be
out
repping the
Syracuse
orange
rappers,
for the
though.
next 4 years,
Stove
dude.
God Cooks. If you don't know, it's part of Griselda actually. But Stove God Cooks. Syracuse rapper, man. Come on, upstate
Listen,
New
man.
York. He's on the
So-
new Clips out.
It could be our year, dude. I mean, next year could be football's year, even though it was a pretty bad year this year. I mean, who knows?
Well, we can't get
Basketball's
worse.
off to a
Yo.
pretty hot start, dude. So not only here's a little bit of
Carmelo's
this just
kid.
Kion is the real deal, dude. I mean, here's the thing. A little bit of this just in, okay? As of recording this yesterday, Syracuse took down Tennessee 62-60.
Yep.
Huge game.
Number 13 seeded Tennessee. Hey, and that's some fake orange. Get that.
Yeah, we're not.
Get that
Yeah,
tangerine shit
that
out
was,
of it.
that was the battle of the
Out
orange
of the
right there.
Northeast.
And we know which
Nah,
orange
get that.
needed to prevail. But on top of that, I mean, we were watching this game kind of together over the TV, you know, ended up not pulling it out against Houston, but played them tough,
Yeah.
right? Played a great game against
Top 10
Houston.
team, Houston. We took an
Like,
overtime.
listen,
Come on now. Put some respect.
Syracuse
We're looking all right
basketball-
now.
Syracuse basketball is looking all right, you know, and they've been playing it without their best shooter too.
I have
past
another
handful of games.
WD-40.
Donnie Freeman.
Why our head coach is named Adrian Autry? His nickname's Red. You're the coach
But
of
it's
the
the-
orange.
But it's the orange, yeah.
The,
Yeah, I don't know,
you're
man.
the coach
We
of
also
the orange.
we also got kids on that team that are wearing yellow shoes, but it's the orange, you know.
Why
We're
do we
just-
wear
we like
white, man? Why do we should always wear orange. We're literally orange.
I'm with you. The
I
home
don't know.
uniform for every sport at Syracuse should be orange. All orange. It's so much better than wearing
On the
blue
road,
for the football team,
Orange.
wearing white for the
Oh
home.
yeah,
Like,
I
no.
don't not that we save that. Save that
No.
WD-40. The football team wears blue.
It makes no sense, dude. It's tradition, but it makes no sense. I hate it. All orange, all day.
What?
I'm with you. I'm with you, dude. But
I
hey,
don't know.
we'll see. We'll see if Toosie's got skills on the outside. He's coming in
Yeah,
as a
shout out
wide
Toosie.
receiver. Coming in as a wide receiver. So we'll see.
Hopefully he's got it, man. Hopefully he's got it.
And shout out to the men's basketball team playing well so far this year, 2025. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Maybe they're a bubble team, dude. Maybe we get into the tourney this year.
Kind of fun. ACC's weak, so
There's a chance. There's always a
never know.
chance.
never know.
Well, listen. I mean, that was we covered a lot of ground there, making up some of the lost conversation from last week during our Thanksgiving episode. Episode 11, like I said, my favorite number. Biasedly, I think this came out.
Yeah,
Great
shout out.
episode. So, what do you got to take us away with here, Nick? What do you got for us today?
Yeah, you know, I love how you mentioned some of the things that we didn't mention last week, and for our loyal listeners who are really tuned in to it, we actually didn't have an inspiration last week because we felt it was time for us to end the podcast. And so I would like to take us back to last week of Thanksgiving, and just give the flowers to those who need it. Okay, to all those who've been listening since the beginning, you're part of the movement, and we thank you. First and foremost, getting a lot of shout outs today. Joanne Egan, we know you're listening, so thank you. We
Thank you,
appreciate
Mom.
it. To both of my parents.
Hey,
Listen, actually on a weekly basis, and we'll just start clowning me the next day. I appreciate it. So Megan, Abe, DeSantis, shout out.
very
And
good.
then recently, Joe DeSantis, my uncle, I was in the car, picked me up in the car, had Interlude Media playing while I got in the car. Weird experience. Yeah, weird experience when you get in the car and you hear your mixtape playing. That's okay though.
That's crazy.
Sometimes it's got to get down. But I know there's a lot of y'all out there on the social medias. We respect it. Getting it started. We actually have some promotional content getting ready, and I think we talk about this next week on how we're going to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Bob the Builder comes back real quick. But hey, my inspiration. Thank you to you guys. We're out here doing this for us, but it's always fun to hear from people who are listening of what's going well, what's not, and what you enjoy with it. So, thank you. This concludes episode 11, and that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, like Nick said, for your dedicated listening. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Interlude Pod. That's Nikki D. I'm your co-host, Todd. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed listening to this episode half as much as we enjoyed making it for you.
Because we had a ball. And all the other real shit is going to be here today, gone tomorrow. All right?
So without further ado, we will see you next time. Good night, New York.
Good night, Connecticut.